Up, Libra, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I'm like just staring at the camera, hoping that I don't look crazy because I just had to have such an intense conversation with my son. He got to the age where he was curious about what adults do when they're on their downtime and want to feel good. So yeah, I just had to have the talk with my 8 year old, and I'm just like, damn, let me not approach this the way that my parents did because my parents were just like, don't have sex or you'll die. And my approach is, dude, you're gonna want to do it. Let's just be smart about it. So I'm excited. I feel like my child just hit a milestone, and I'm like crying because I'm like, I cannot believe I'm having this conversation with my kid. But yeah, that's what just happened. Hello Libra, how are you? I love you guys. Now, before getting started, guys, two things I want to say. So one, guys, thank you so much for the love and the support. As you guys can see, I'm about to hit 100K, and I really hope to do it soon. So because of that, I am flying out to Chicago. So I'll be staying in the downtown area. So I'll be there from April 18th to April 22nd. So on the 20th, which is Saturday, I want to have fun with y'all. I want to party. So I'm going to let you guys know once I figure it out where I decide to go. So come out, come meet me. Let's have a drink. Let's take photos. Let's just have a good time. And hopefully by then I have the 100K, but it'll get there soon eventually. But yes, if you guys do want to get read while I'm out there, I will be open to it the 19th, which is Friday, and the 20th again, which is Saturday. So you guys can message me and we can find time for any of those days. But guys, I'm only taking 6 appointments because I do want it to be more of like a leisurely trip. So first come, first serve, guys. So you can find, you can DM me on Instagram, highvibrations44, or you can email me, highvibrations44@gmail.com, okay? But the prices are on my Instagram. All right, Libra. So let me stop talking about my life and let's talk about yours. So what is going on for the sign of Libra? What is going on for the sign of Libra? April 2019. Tell me something about you. Alright, so we have past. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. My AC unit has been down for like the past 2 days. And it's been really freaking hot. So I have a fan blowing full force because I do not like a warm house. I like a house at like 69 degrees, preferably less if it can get to that point. But let's get into things, guys. All right. The energy you have here is the Devil card. Okay. Doesn't have to be the worst thing in the world. With the Devil card, yes, it could be something toxic, that's around you or in the atmosphere. But the Devil comes as, how do I want to explain this? With the Devil card, it doesn't necessarily have to be, again, something that's bad. If we have a shot of tequila, that's fine, right? If we have 10 shots, now we're dancing with the devil, okay? Because you're doing too much. It's affecting you in a way that it can derail you. So it could be something as simple as that. A bad habit, something that we feel very dependent on. It could be a vice. It could be, drugs, alcohol, okay, things like that. And we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. So what is it in your life that could derail you? So let's get into it, Libra, okay? Now, going into your past, guys, the first card that you have here is the World card. Now, this is talking about going into a whole new phase in life, going into a whole new chapter in life, okay? We have the King of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Sun card. Maybe something ended, especially if this has to do with love. Something could have ended due to someone cheating and things just coming to light, okay? For others of you, whether it was you or another person, somebody was just very emotionally unstable. With the King of Wands in the reverse, if this isn't a promiscuous person, then it's someone who is like a huge diva. Somebody that is just intolerable. That annoying ass boss that you can't stand, who's always over your shoulder, that overbearing sort of energy where something is just really thrown off. And you're realizing that with whatever happened, this was a waste of time. This was a waste of effort. Justice card in the reverse. So a lot is pointing to foul play. And realizing that the situation just wasn't worth it. We have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. And the Ace of Cups. So in this case, it's like, I feel that a person is heartbroken. Honestly, I feel like if this is relating to love, that maybe someone got played or cheated on in some way, shape, or form. And maybe that, you know, whoever did the playing tried to come back in the picture or stay in the picture, but it just wasn't working. Maybe this happened because two people were in a relationship and then someone from one of their past came in. It could be something like that as well. All right. But you're heartbroken about this new beginning here. Okay. There's definitely a sense of conflict that's being felt here. But there is a new start that I do see you guys, you know, seeing as something that you're bothered by or something that causes you to feel like you've wasted your time in some way. Okay, so you're not seeing eye to eye with someone. You got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse here. Not seeing eye to eye, not feeling appreciated, or maybe not appreciating another person. Just keep in mind that the energies can be transferable, so it could be something that's happening to you or something that someone is, you know, inflicting on you. And also keep in mind, guys, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for these readings, okay? Now, let's see why this is here. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so guys, you were hit hard with something in the past, or you hit someone hard with something in the past. Secrets. Okay, so I just see a lot of shady shit that you were having a hard time moving away from, where you were really feeling a loss. Maybe some of you lost actual money. Maybe some of you just lost the wholeness that you felt in your heart, okay, with the situation. So I feel like a lot of you are still grasping that. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups in the reverse as the first card for the present moment. So that's unhappiness in the situation. Dissatisfaction. Burden. Ten of Wands. What are y'all going through right now? We have the Tower card in the reverse. So you're doing what you need to avoid any sort of catastrophes, but you're burdened by whatever this is that's making you unhappy, some sort of ending. I feel like you guys ended something that you didn't want to end. Okay. Now, the next card that we have for the present moment, and this is the center of your reading as well, Four of Swords in the reverse. So when we're in the upright, we're kind of stuck. We're in hiatus mode where we don't know which way to go, or we're trying to figure out which way to go. We're just trying to deeply think about things. When it's in the reverse, it's like, okay, I've thought about it. Now it's time to move past this. So you're finally, you know, getting out of a place of stagnation, or again, that hiatus that you may have taken. We have the Eight of Wands and the Four of Cups in the reverse. So you move past something and there's an offer here that's accepted. There's, you know, some sort of communication or some sort of action that's going into something that you're going to accept or that someone accepts from you, okay? But again, it involves letting go of something that's very tumultuous here with the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Letting go of something that just has too much adversity, okay? So the next card that we have here, guys, is the King of Pentacles. So there could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn that's going to be very significant in all of this, okay? Or this could be somebody who's in a very good place financially speaking, somebody who's very reliable, someone who can be, you know, trusted, somebody who will just put up with a lot. Why is this King of Pentacles here? We have the Ten of Swords. And the Seven of Cups. Okay. So there's this illusion, guys, that's following. There's this sense of, what am I truly looking at? There's a smoke screen in front of you. Okay. Could be a betrayal from a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone that you thought you could trust. Or maybe they thought that they could trust you. There's definitely some foul play here, guys. Let's move forward into the future, okay? We have the Death card in the reverse. So, having to end a cycle, but it's like you're still kind of holding on. Libras, do y'all need a hug right now? I feel like you guys need a hug. Libras, if you're in Chicago, come hug me next weekend, okay? We have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. we have the Five of Swords. Someone's pissed. Someone's really pissed off. Someone feels very conflicted here. With the Queen of Swords in the reverse and the Fool card in the reverse, you guys get to the point, whether it's because of you being the catalyst to this or someone getting you to this point, it's like you're ready to strike. It's like you have your sword and you're ready to use that sword at any moment. You're pissed. You're scorned. You have this high wall up. The one thing that we want to keep in mind is when this card comes up in the reversal, make sure that you're not popping the other 3 tires because one tire went flat. Make sure that you're not adding fuel to the fire, okay? But yeah, there's definitely something that's bothering you guys. There's definitely a heavy, and this is going to be, I don't say this often, but I hope that a lot of you don't resonate with this, but I'm going to put this content out. I feel like someone is really going to be in need of a strong message right now, okay? So the next card that we have is the Hierophant in the reverse, okay? When this card comes up, I like this card whether it's in the upright or in the reverse because its significance is so strong. When it's in the reverse, we know that something's derailing us from the path that we're meant to be on. We know that we're not in alignment with how to navigate life and how to reach our highest potential and our highest self. Something got y'all fucked up. Okay, let's see why this Hierophant is in the reverse. There's some shit y'all gotta let go. Alright? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, things not going the way that you expect. Alright? But that's what brings you balance. Alright? So something is not gonna go the way that you intend for it to. Someone is hurting. Someone is definitely hurting. Okay. We have the Three of Wands as the last card for your future. Now, this is a very beautiful card because whether it's you waiting for something to come in or kind of turning your back to something so that you could expand, that's what this card talks about, expansion. So you're expanding. Even though you could be hurting, there's expansion, okay? Why is this Three of Wands here? We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the Four of Pentacles. So you decide to guard yourself from something that you know is bad judgment, okay? But you're in your head about this. Guys, the Nine of Swords is a very, very mental card, okay? So you want to make sure that you're not giving yourself more anxiety because of shit that you're thinking. What if this person's doing this? What if they did that? What if I had just done this differently? What if, things had just changed? There is too much energy being exerted, guys. This is too much. It's too much. Whatever this is that's concerning you, whatever, God forbid it's not like a death or anything like that. But if this is like a breakup or something, guys, because I feel like this is going to resonate for a lot of you in love, but this is so unhealthy, okay? These energies are unhealthy. So even if it hurts, guys, to let something go, I would not want to see you in this, okay? I would not want to see anyone in this world feeling this way. So you guys really need to put yourself first. And you guys are going to really need to find a healthy outlet for all of this, okay? When it comes to getting over things that hurt and heartbreaks, there's so many things that we can do, but you have to find something that really relaxes you, okay? Because I know that you guys can tend to overthink sometimes, and that within itself can bring more anxiety than what's needed. But what is it that makes you happy no matter what? Because sometimes when we're in a really bad place, especially when we're overthinking, we kind of shut ourselves out. Like me, if I'm going through heartbreak, I can't work. I don't care if I have 100 readings I have to get out. I'm gonna sit my ass down and I'm gonna cry until I get that funk out of my body, get those feelings out of my body. But this isn't worth it, guys. So I really need for you guys to find something healthy, a healthy outlet. Now, just personal advice, anytime your body feels stagnant or anytime you feel hurt or anything like that, you gotta move. You gotta literally get up and you gotta move. Go outside for a walk. Go running. Go to the gym. Put on some good ass music and lift heavy shit. Okay? That's gonna be my best advice, and that's not just with my personal training background. That's just it really gets the endorphins running through your body. When I was at my lowest in life, when I was in a place where I was even suicidal, I worked out so hard. And I'll be honest with you, the first 2 or 3 weeks, I cried heavily during my workouts. Thank you God I had a home gym back then, so nobody saw me, but it hurt a lot. And I was able to really get past that debilitating mindset. I don't want you guys to be prisoners to your thoughts right now. Okay, I really don't want you guys to be prisoners to your thoughts. You have to detach yourself from whatever this is. Okay, and love is a risk. Things that we get into and we emotionally invest ourselves in that don't need to be there, it's a risk. Okay, and sometimes this is what comes out of the risk. But you got to get back up, and you have to remember who you are. And you have to make sure that you're putting yourself first and that you're handling things in a healthy way. I don't want you guys to drown out your emotions. I don't want you to get strongly addicted to anything only because it's just going to, brush everything under the carpet. But one day your mom's going to come over, someone's going to come over, and they're going to make you clean. And then bam, you got to deal with all this shit. So I just don't want you to be in this cloudiness for all this time and then still have to deal with the problem at the end of it. So guys, what makes you happy? And I don't want it to be a person. Don't give me a person. Unless it's like a family member that they're not going to turn on you. You can rely on them. Or a good friend that you can rely on. But try to find something that isn't another person that makes you truly happy. Whether it's working out, whether it's dance, whether it's singing. Find that and do that. Okay? Dance has always been my outlet. I danced professionally for like 12 years, and if I had to break up with someone or if I had to go through something that I knew was going to be painful, I always did it right before dance practice. 3 hours later, I did not give a fuck about shit. So find your dance. Find your thing. Okay? And I still, to this day, every night I dance. So I want you guys to find what that dance is for you. Okay? Let's pull some cards of advice. I'm going to pull you guys an oracle card as well. But yeah, Libra, my heart goes out to you. And whatever this is, guys, let's get through it. Let's get through it. Now, with how things are, astrologically speaking, the universe is shifting in a way right now where we're actually prone to good beginnings. And we're prone to things working in our favor. So if something is being ripped out of your life at a time where good things are being set up for you, don't fight that. Trust that the universe is going to hold your shit down, okay? I actually made a post the other day that, on my Instagram, again, High Vibrations 44, where there's just been so many times that I've wanted, and I'm a Taurus guy, so when it comes to change could be hard for me, especially in love. Like, if I love a person, I can't just turn that off. It's hard, and it hurts, and I cry like a little baby, but there's, what I was talking about is that there's times when we want something so bad in our lives, and we fight, and we fight, and we fight for it. But with you forcing that, you're actually really cutting off blessings that want to come in. I know that people say all the time that this world isn't fair, but honestly, the universe is very abundant, and the universe does look out for you guys. You have your ancestors, you have your spirit guides, you guys are protected. Open that third eye and tap in. You're always being watched over. You're always being protected. You can, always tap into that ancestry that you have behind you. You have thousands of people in your lineage. Tap into that power and know that you're always being protected. So if there's something that you have to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight for, baby, it's not for you. It's not for you, okay? And I understand that can hurt when we invest our time in something and we really want it. I get it. I get that. I really get that. But what's meant for you in this life is effortless. Of course, there's always going to be arguments and, bumps in the road when it comes to love or just anything we want in life. That's normal. but it shouldn't be heightened all the time. So if you feel like you're constantly fighting all the time, you know, then that's not your fight to have, okay? So I have these cards out. I'm gonna pull an oracle card. Now this deck, guys, that I'm using is the Wild Unknown. And then the oracle cards that I'm using is Oracle of Visions by Cyril Marchetti. Alright, you guys got 2 cards, which is totally fine. Y'all need it. I felt bad because I always randomize the order for these readings, but you guys always show so much love, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel bad that I'm doing Libra last, but I needed to do you guys last because this is more of a heavier reading, and I feel everything. I feel everything, but I'm not going to cry because I'm going out in a few hours and I don't want to do my makeup again. But, alright. You guys have number 1 for anyone into numerology, and we have 14. Number 1, I don't have to look up. Number 1, just like the Magician and Tarot, okay? In a place where you're realizing it's time for a new beginning. It's time for a new start. It's time to realize everything that has gotten you to this point, the good, the bad, and to really understand it so that you can move forward, so that you can avoid similar situations, so that you can avoid similar risks, okay? So it's all something new that's going to come in, and it talks about promising things that come in, okay? Now let's look up number 14, just because I'm not too familiar with this one just yet. Creativity, imagination. Each day is a new canvas to paint upon. Make sure your picture is full of life and happiness, and at the end of the day, you don't look at it and wish you had painted something different. In its myriad forms, creativity is an expression of our humanity and imagination, both in its production and in its recognition. To take shape, color, form, sound, or words and give them a new life is an act of creation. Various symbols of the tools and medium through which creativity is expressed are worn by our artist as a decorative headdress of imagination. Sometimes creativity can consume our thoughts as slow-burning embers waiting for release. At other times, it is a spontaneous explosion of inspiration. Either way, it is a wondrous human characteristic, and there are infinite varieties of individual expressions. But alas, also an infinite variety of assessment by others. You guys get to paint a whole new picture. I know that sometimes things can be debilitating when they end or when they have these sort of energies around it, but you got to look at the bright side. Like, yeah, I might not have this, but like, I can literally do anything I want. You know, if you guys put your minds to it, you can get up and move to a different city. You can go and follow your dream. You can go, you know, backpacking through Europe. You could do whatever you want. It's a clean slate, and yeah, maybe it ended in a shitty way, but you can do whatever you want. What have you been wanting to do that you haven't? Go towards that shit. Do that. Okay? When we're looking at the energy of this, we have the 3 of Cups in the reverse. For a lot of you, straight up, this is going to be something fucked up that ended because somebody just wasn't honest. Okay? So I see that there could be some sort of third-party involvement when it comes to love, some sort of juggling. Okay? But look, happiness comes from walking away. All right? So not just any sort of happiness. The 10 of Cups is the ultimate card of happiness. Okay? When it comes to happiness in tarot. This is extreme happiness from walking away from this. You're enlightened now. The Moon card in the verse. You're enlightened. You're woke. You have such a deeper understanding about life. And the beautiful thing about pain, guys, is that although it can hurt, you know, your heart, it makes you so much more aware of the world. It wasn't until I went through something extremely painful that I thought to even think, let me ask this person how they're doing. I can tell that there's something messed up with this person. It's like you're just able to see the world on such a different level, and nothing can bring you that but pain. Okay? But you're removing yourself from something toxic, all right? Something that was reckless here. And with the 5 of Cups in the reverse, you heal. So you guys do heal from this. You really do. And you come out of this very, very strong, but whatever this addiction was, whether it's a person, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, okay, whatever this is, baby, let it go. Okay, you guys gotta let this go. You guys gotta promise me you're gonna work your hardest to let this go. Let me pull you guys 3 clarifiers here. Why is this Devil card in the reverse? The Emperor. Why is this Knight of Swords in the reverse? Hermit card in the reverse. Why is the 5 of Cups in the reverse? The Tower card. This is pushing you out of your comfort zone, okay? And you need to be okay with that. This card literally just slid from the top of the deck. 10 of Wands in the reverse, which means that the burden that you may feel now, it's going to subside. The worst has happened already, guys. So it's just a sense of healing from here on out. But you guys are about to do some boss shit. And yeah, your world was shook the fuck up. It was. There's no denial. Something shook you up. So boss up, because that's what it's going to make you do. You have no choice but to boss up. And you guys can take your time to mourn whatever this was. But I don't want you to lose your productivity in this world because of those emotions. All right? So do what you need to do to get yourselves in a good mindset. Okay? I'll be very honest with you guys, because I feel like y'all, you know, again, this is more of a heavier reading, but true story. And for those of you who have been with me a while, maybe you've heard it before, but to my new, you know, subscribers, let's talk about it. So I moved to Florida about 3 years ago, and everything just changed in my life so abruptly. I was broke as fuck. I was living with my parents. I was just in such a weird place in life where I was just really at a low, and I was just really, really depressed. And I was just doing anything I could to forget my circumstances. Now, with where I'm at now in life, I will say that if I'm not in a good place, then I don't date, because I don't want to bring those sort of energies to the table, and I want to be cut me off, but I want to be able to bring to the table what the other person can. And obviously, if I have nothing, I'm not going to want to date a person that has nothing too, because then that's chaos. But there was someone that I had met. It was through like Tinder or something, and I ended up going on a date with this guy, and I cannot explain the instant connection. So we dated for about 4 months. He was a Leo. And it's funny because I adore Leos. I love Leos. I think it's a great sign. But we were together for 4 months. But I'm talking about, you know, in 4 months' time, a lot can happen. You can really love a person and fall in love with them in 4 months. And just someone that I spoke to every single day, that I saw all the time, that would come to visit me, that my parents loved. This guy was so put together. He was so put together. And it was crazy because when I was 14 years old, I went to some sort of like retreat, and I had made a list of the qualities of the person that I want to marry. So my mom, just seeing how I was with this, because she's like, girl, you changed. Like, girl, you getting up early. You cleaning the house without us asking to. You're making food all the time for us. You're working out. Like, you're on your shit. Like, this person, they brought so much good into my life. And so in this whole situation, she brings me this list, because when I was 14 years old, I gave that list to my mom. I forgot about it completely. She said, there's something that I want to give you. So she gives me the list, and I look, and I'm crying. I'm bawling. This man had every quality. And guys, I'm very specific. So when I put a list out, like, yeah, this is the list, you know, and it's going to be very expensive. So I'm like crying, and I'm crying, and I'm not sad now. I'm just like remembering the moment. But I look at her, and she was like, I think you got it. I think you found it. I'm like, wow. And it's just crazy how my world just turned around so much. Now, before, you know, I had met this person, that's when I started delving to tarot, like on YouTube and stuff like that, and watching other people who had channels. And I got really, really into it. But he was super against it, because he had a very military mindset where it's like, if you can't show it on paper, if it can't be proven, then it doesn't exist. And he was just a huge skeptic. So he was like, I need you to stop watching all of that. And that's the one thing that he's just like, you know, I just don't want you hooked on it. It's unhealthy. So I'm like, okay. So long story short, it's around the holidays, and something just fell off. And I'm just like, something's not right. And mind you, I had not fought with this person yet. It was just straight honeymoon. So something just did not feel right. And something told me, Lissette, something's up with this person. And I'm just asking him, like, do you have someone else? Did someone from your past come back into the picture? Like, what's up? What's going on? And he's like, listen, I don't want to deal with questions. I don't want to deal with this drama. And it really heightened. The conversation really, really heightened. And we ended up arguing. And my one regret was that I was drinking. So I wish I would have done it, with a sober mind, because I don't feel like it would have been as dramatic. But I was really upset. I was really, really upset. And, we went to sleep on bad terms. And I'm just like, look, I'm let's just talk about this tomorrow. So the next day, mind you, that was our first fight. The next day I wake up and I just feel so refreshed and so new. And I grab my phone and I start texting. I'm like, babe, last night was crazy and I'm so sorry, and I want us to be able to communicate better, and I want to be able to understand. So, like, let's talk. And you know how on the iPhones, it'll show delivered if a message goes through. Guys, I was not only blocked on, the phone, but I was blocked on everything. I never heard from that person again. And I'm just like, okay, they're mad. They'll call in a while. I never heard from that person again. There are people that I have dated for like 5 years. I have never in my life experienced the pain that I experienced with losing someone like that in such a drastic way. It was the most painful thing, love-wise, that I went through. And I don't wish it on, I don't have enemies, but I don't wish it on, the worst person in this world. Okay? Because it was just so unbearable to deal with it. But the reason why I'm choosing to tell you guys that, besides the fact that I feel you need a little bit more love right now, is that when that person left, I became obsessed with tarot. Because when is he coming back? When is he coming back? When is he coming back? Is he going to come back? What's going on? Did he have someone else someone else in his life? And it got to the point where when people would do readings, I'm like, you know what? Their cards tell the right story, but they didn't read it correctly. And I'm just like, I think I have a gift for this. So I bought my own deck. And for a month, every day, just study tarot for a month. I started my channel almost 2 years ago, around this time. It was April 22nd, 2 years ago that I started my channel. So we're about to hit 2 years. I went from broke, unhappy, no direction in life, no influence over anyone. And I want influence, like, in a good way. I want a platform that I can speak on. Motivational speaking has always been my thing. That's always what that's the end goal. Okay, I want to travel the world and I want to change lives. And now it's just like I can literally up and go anywhere, anytime I want. I have my own place. I'm not worried about paying shit. Like, my life is so abundant. And although love might not be on the forefront, this terrible situation propelled me forward. Okay? And I'm just very grateful, because I know a lot of people, when they start channels and stuff like that, it's a hustle, And me, I didn't even advertise it, because my parents are very religious. So I'm like, no one can know that I do this. I only started talking about my channel when it got too big to hide. When I had family members and people from my hometown and people just hitting me up like, dude, I just saw you on YouTube and your channel's fucking popping. And I'm like, oh, thanks. So that's when I finally became a big girl and started talking about my channel. But this heartbreak, this terrible circumstance changed my life. And it's funny because one of the things that he said to me is, I can't date a woman that's not working and not doing something for herself. I tripled his income. So not to even brag about money, but it's just like, you never know who a person's going to be, and you never know their potential. And losing him was the most beautiful blessing in my life, because I'm going to change the world. And if it wasn't for that pain that he put me through, I would have never gone in this direction. Pain can be a beautiful thing, guys. And I know that for a lot of you, you're in the part where you feel like you're underwater right now. But I assure you, You are going to be okay. Okay? I love you guys so much. Again, I'll be in Chicago. Come meet me if you guys are there. Give me a huge hug. Just say, Lissette, you're Libra. Say, Lissette, I'm a Libra, and that's enough. I'm gonna hug the shit out of you, all right? So let's do this, y'all. And for those of you that need a personal reading, just to book it online, I do offer 30-minute readings, and then I offer quick questions, okay? So you can book that on my website, highvibrationswithliz.com, okay? Everything's in the description below, so just check it out. I love you, Libra. Stay strong. You guys will get through this.